Manojji, Chetan Bhai, and all the other panelists, including Mr. Srivatsa sir. See, Vizag, sir, Andhra Pradesh is known for its coastline with 972 kilometers with 21 accessible beaches. And Vizag is the finest, has the finest stretches of beaches. And coming into Visakhapatnam, we have the Submarine Museum, the Karusara, we call it the Karusara, and which is the only one such submarine museum in the Asia Pacific region. And that's one area we will all have to focus. And it's quite one. And then we have the TU 142 Handicraft Museum again, which has just come opposite to that. We have the Erramata Dibbalu, which is a 1.2 million year old unique geo-heritage site. Apart from that, we have a lot of other things in Vizag, like the Kailashgiri, we have Beemli and all that. But the more fascinating thing has always been Arku. Arku with the Vistadome train that we have is one of the biggest features. Then we have the Bora Caves, which Sir already spoke about, which is a multi-million-year-old and it's the deepest cave. And then we have the waterfalls, and then we have Lampasinge, which is the coldest place in South India, which goes up to 0 to -1. And then we have other waterfalls. We have the Tribal Museum. But Andhra Pradesh is more a sacred spiritual legacy in terms of spiritual temples. And of course, we all know Tirupati, and we have Mahanandi, we have Kalahasti. But my request is, which is very less talked, is the 3 Shaktipitams that we have. And out of the 18 Shaktipitams, 3 are located in Andhra Pradesh. And very less is talked about it, and very less is sold about it. We have Sri Sailam, which is the 6th of the Shaktipitas. Then we have the Pitapuram, is the 10th of the Shaktipitas, and is also one of the 3 Gayas. Then we have Draksharam, which is the 12th of the 18 Shaktipitas, and is also called the Dakshin Kasi. I think this is an area where we'll have to all look at stimulating. Yes, this has not been sold, this has not been talked about, and we have not sold our Shaktipitams. We have other famous temples like Arsavalli, Simachalam, we have Anavaram, then we have Srimukam, we have the Kanakadurga temple at Vijayawada, we have the Sri Kurmam, then we have Lepakshi, we have Puttapatti, then we have Kanipakam, then we have Pushpagiri is a temple which was in the ancient scripts of the Ramayana. It was mentioned. So then we have adventure sports, which is like Vizag, we have the scuba diving. We have trekking also at the Eastern Ghats, and Jindagadda, which is the highest point, which is about 1690 meters or 5540 feet, is the highest point in the whole Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats is all the way starts Orissa and goes all the way into Karnataka, Orissa, Andhra, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. And close to Arku, we have Jindagadda, which is the highest point. Then Vijayawada, we have a lot of water sports, including at Rishikonda. Then Papikondalu, which is the thing that again has to be focused. We can go to Bhadrachalam using these boats. And then less talked about things is the Orvakal Rock Garden, which is about 1,000 acres of land, and then got a lot of sculptures of garden. The ancient caves are also there, a lot of rock formations. Then the Bellam Caves. It's one of the longest cave systems open to public in India, which is 3229 meters, and 1500 meters has been allowed for the public. Then we have Gandikota, which is called the Grand Canyon of India. Then we have the Undavali Caves, again near Vijayawada, which is a 7th century entire cave complex with about 64 caves. Then we have the tribal circuits, which Vinod talked about, and the Gadaba tribals are the most prominent there, with 35% in AP, 59% in Orissa, 5 in Chhattisgarh, and 1 in Madhya Pradesh. And we can always do wonderful package, 4 nights, 5 days. If you're looking at Andhra Pradesh, or we can combine it with Orissa, also combine it with Chhattisgarh. And I always believe Vizag can always be sold as a gateway destination. This is the focus that even we as travel agents should look at, where we look at Vizag, and from here we sell Orissa as a gateway, we sell Chhattisgarh as a gateway. In terms of a tribal circuit, a 4-night, 5-day is very idle. We do 1 night Vizag, then we do the Totlakonda, Beamly, all that. Next day we go to Aruku, where we go to a village called Kondiba. It's a very interesting tribe where they have still the doors of the huts, which are about 150 to 200 years. They have weapons which they use of 200 years. Then we go to the Chompi village where you can see the pot work and the lac works. And then the next day we can go to Prebanda, which is a trek for about 1 hour. And it's a very unique tribe called the Kiyu. And it's considered to be only 21 people speak this language, and probably is the most diminishing language now that we have in the tribal thing. Medical tourism. Vizag is a very preferred destination for knee surgeries. A lot of people come from as Punjab, and then there is something very important I got everybody to know. It's called the minimal invasive spinal surgery, where we have one doctor who's one of the top 10 in the world. Then we have golf, we have Sunray, then we have the Eastern Point Golf Club, we have mice. Then we are known for our cuisines. A lot of people don't talk about cuisines. We have wonderful pickles. We have the Pulasu fish, which is in the Konaseema area, which sells at about 200 rupees a kg. Then we have the Vizag famous Bonguki chicken, and then the Aruku coffee. Then the Patlam chicken, which is wrapped in egg. Then we have the prawn fry. Then we have the paper sweet in the Konaseema. Then apart from that, we have the craft and handicraft. We have the Etikopaka toys, which is what I call experiential tourism, is probably an area which we'll all have to focus in the COVID time. Then we look at the Bobli Veena, then the Buditi brassware, the Kondapalli toys, the Venkatgiri saris, Uppadu, then the Punduru, then we have the Kalankari fabrics, the Narsapur lake, laces, and it stretches on and on in terms of looking at Andhra Pradesh. But my point, sir, to Vinodji also, who can probably take this up, is focus on the Shaktipitams, that there is no state which has 3 Shaktipitams. And this is an area where it should be focused on. And Vizag, if we can probably look at as a gateway destination, because we have flights that come into Visakhapatnam, we have a flight that comes in from Kuala Lumpur, we have a flight that comes in from Singapore, we have a flight that comes in from Dubai. And from here, Chhattisgarh, or there's only one flight that comes into Bhubaneswar, which is again AirAsia, but we can get Vizag as a gateway and then push onward to Chhattisgarh, extend from Vizag, or we can go into Konaseema, we can go into the Rayalaseema, which I talked about, the Cave Bellam Caves, and we have the Srisalem, then we have also the Tiger Reserve also at Srisalem. So all these are points, sir. And we as an association I also had the ADTY as a chairman of Andhra Pradesh. And even as the Tours and Travels of Andhra Pradesh, we have 400 members. We just touched 400 last week. Friday was the time when we touched 400 as our member base. Even we have been trying to stimulate, like anybody coming into Tirupati, usually they go into Chennai or they go into Bangalore. So we have been trying to tell them, Tirupati agents, to stay focus and send them into Kurnool, where you have the caves, or send them to Srisalem to see the other Shaktipitam, and send them to Vijayawada, send them to Vizag, or send them to Konaseema. So we've also been trying to do a lot of stimulation in terms with the agents. We've done a lot of training programs on each of the circuits. We've told them that this is what is available in each of the circuits, and that's how we can all extend instead of looking at. And we also told all the 400 agents to stimulate by themselves rather than depend on the government to stimulate tourism. And next year, we have also thought about a very unique thing, sir. We wanted to declare Andhra Pradesh as the tourism, Andhra Pradesh tourism year. I mean, it will be a little complicated to talk about during the COVID time, but we still wanted to do it. And we wanted to do it in a very unique way. We wanted to launch this in the bottom of the sea. We wanted to take the divers and then launch this year of tourism Andhra Pradesh. So this is what we have, sir. So we'll require Srivatsuji's support and also Vinaji, with your, if you take it forward, I think, there's nothing that cannot happen. You are one of the most respected persons, and you have really changed the whole Incredible India campaign, and it is you who actually brought India the real tourism. So we would require all your help, sir. This is what I have, sir, little to talk about.